Good morning. Today on Sold Before Sunrise, I am excited to sit down with someone so many of you already know and love, designer and CEO of A Well-Dressed Home, Emily Hewett. Emily has spent more than 20 years transforming dated spaces into beautiful, functional homes and has built one of the most recognized design firms in North Texas. She's a Dallas native, a Texas Tech grad, a proud mom of twins, and someone who brings passion, creativity, and a whole lot of heart to everything she does. Well, let's dive in. Welcome, Emily.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here and taking the time. One of the things I like to start out with is, how did you end your evening last night? And then how did you start your morning this morning?
Okay, so I ended my evening by putting up my Christmas decor. I know it's early.
Already.
It's early, but honestly, this is not the earliest I've ever done it. I've done it in September before, but we did it yesterday and earlier this week because we do have a home tour coming up in December.
Lovely.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. And then I started my day the way I start my day almost every morning, up at 5, emails, and then Pilates at 6.
Okay.
Yes.
Every day.
Almost 5 days a week.
That's a great routine.
Yeah.
Great routine.
Yeah.
So, exercise first before email.
Always.
Yeah. Right. Well, I wanted to first, talk a little bit about, you've built A Well-Dressed Home into such a successful business.
Thank
we were
you.
talking earlier, and you started out just you and a blog. But what were some of the key steps that helped you scale from being a solo designer to leading a team?
I became obsessed with consistency and just grind. So as you mentioned, I started it by myself with just a blog. And then I took on really any job that I could get. Whether it was sourcing a rug for someone or even just one pillow for their primary bedroom, I just took on anything that I could and really started to create relationships with these clients and trust. And over years, it just turned into repeat business and more clients coming in. And then that's when I knew I needed to hire some help. So,
wow. So starting from solo to now a team.
Yes.
And how many are on your team now?
I believe we have 20.
Okay.
Yes.
Plus, I also noted that includes Captain Hewett.
That would be 21 with Captain Hewett.
Okay.
Yes.
And explain who Captain Hewett is.
Captain Hewett is my King Charles Cavalier.
Okay.
He's 3 years old, and he is captain of mess development at our office. And he loves to come in and be the center of attention with clients and with our team. So
yes, that's great. Well, running a design firm requires both artistic vision and business savvy.
Yes.
How do you balance those two worlds?
With the help of my team, truly. When I started this business, I actually started by asking my mom and other people who had hired designers and that were frustrated with designers. And I said, what is frustrating you? What would you change? And I took the top things that they told me that they would change, and I built processes around it. And we just...
What were some of those things?
Communication, lack of communication. So we now have processes and procedures in our office that require us to be communicative within a certain amount of hours with our clients and vendors. A lot of people did not like that they were being charged by the hour. They didn't understand what they were going to be spending by the end of the project. So we charge a flat fee up front. We talk to the client about what that fee will be as far as designs go and what we assume that they will, or what we expect for them to spend in furnishings. And installs. People were frustrated that their designers were bringing in the lamps in January, the rugs in March, and the sofa in June. And, so they weren't getting that kind of wow factor. So now we just do one install for our clients. And it's kind of that HGTV moment of when people walk in their space and see it transformed from nothing to something that they're really in love with.
Right. Good. That's a good point.
Yeah.
What's been one of the biggest learning moments as a CEO?
As I've gotten into the business and as I'm no longer 1 or 2 years in, we just turned 15 in August. But
congratulations.
Thank you. In the last several years, I have learned that not only do we have to be a good fit for the client? The client needs to be a good fit for us. So it's important not to just take on anyone that comes your way. We have certain standards and policies and procedures that need to be followed. And if a client is unable to follow those, then they are not a good fit for us, and that's okay. So,
and we see that too in real estate. There are business models for everyone.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So pretty similar, kind of similar.
Yes.
Well, when you walk into a home for the first time, what design elements immediately tell you it's been thoroughly put together?
Scale.
Okay.
You can always tell, most of the time, you can tell if a home or a space has been professionally designed by the scale of the furniture.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In your opinion, how much does great interior design impact a home's perceived value when it comes time to sell?
Oh, I think it greatly impacts the sell of the home. We even have clients where we have designed the whole home and furnished the whole home. And then years later, they will go to sell it, and they actually a lot of times sell it with the furniture that was in it and with the window treatments and everything. So, and it sells fast. It sells fast. Yes.
We see that too with staged properties. That's why our realtors are, very heavily entrenched in making sure homes are well staged and similar to a well designed property.
Yes, very important.
I know. Typically a consumer will walk in and fall in love with the furniture just as much as the house, right? And the finish out. Wonderful. How do you approach balancing timeless design with trends?
You don't have to be tied to a trend. Just because something is in style or on trend doesn't mean that you have to have it in your home. We like to start with just a classic base when we're designing. And then if someone wants something that's a little bit trendier, we like to use those we like to use the trends in furnishings and accessories and things like that so that they can be easily swapped out in a few years once that trend dissolves.
Like pillows.
Exactly.
And things like that.
Yes.
Kind of having a set. And we talked earlier about too, I think there's an important piece and component to, just because it's not in trend doesn't mean that it's not something the client might really like and enjoy day to day.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If someone just bought a new home, where do you recommend they start when it comes to designing and furnishing it?
Okay. So typically clients will always start with the main spaces that their friends and family will see, which is great. Like a living room, dining room, kitchen, and that's great. I always say, don't forget to include your primary suite.
Okay.
So there have been many times where our clients will have us furnish those main spaces, and then they'll say, but I work so hard and I'm retreating to this primary suite that I don't love. Let's do that next. And they wish that they would have put that first. And I'm guilty of that too. In our last home, our primary suite was the last room that we furnished. And I wish that it would have been one of the first.
What in a primary suite, what is kind of that extra touch that you like to focus on? Or is it dependent upon the client?
For myself, it's the way we dress our beds. And we actually talk about that a lot on our Instagram account. Okay. In my primary bed is so comfortable. I mean, it's like just layers upon layers.
It's hard to get out of.
It is hard to get out of. And so we love it so much that we actually dressed all of the beds in our home that way, our guest beds, our kids' beds and everything. And when people come and stay the night, they're like, oh my goodness, this is just the hardest bed to get out of because it is so comfortable.
Like staying in the most comfortable resort hotel room.
That's exactly right. Yes.
What are your patterns and what does style look like in your bedding?
We have in the bedding, it's just, I like to keep our primary suite calming and a little neutral just because too many colors and patterns, I need to relax. That's like my retreat and I want to relax in there. So we have a patterned headboard. And then we have very light white and ivory and tan bedding, layers upon layers of duvet inserts and coverlets and sheets and all of that. So it's very fluffy and comfortable. And then our window treatments are just a white and green and a little bit of lavender sort of a floral pattern, like a little more modern floral pattern, but again, just very calming and light and airy.
With lots of pillows, lots of
pillows. Yeah,
I know. My husband always says, is there any room for us? Like there's just pillows. There's too many pillows.
It does take me a little longer to make the bed in the morning, but it's worth it.
All right. Well, can you tell us a little bit about how you balance business and creativity?
Yes. So, I will be honest with you. You know, we built this business on just being business minded. We always say we are business minded professionals first and foremost before we are designers. That's what helps us keep our company afloat. That's what helps keep our clients happy and coming back to us. So, at the very beginning, when I first started the business, I was much more creative because it was just me and I was doing all of the designs and all of that. And then as I was able to start hiring employees, I was able to really start focusing on the business side of things, processes and procedures. And, and we are seen as a very, very business-minded interior design firm. That's very important to us.
Well, systems are important.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Keep things organized.
That's right.
To your point, consistent.
Yes.
And makes things flow a lot more efficiently.
It really does. Yes.
And it makes for a better experience for the client.
And that's what I was going to say. They know what to expect, when to expect it, and we know what to expect from them and when to expect it. So everyone's on the same page and it kind of pushes all of those, kind of anxieties aside.
Right. Well, I know we talked about how everybody has their own personal, likes, but just want to ask, what are your top paint color go-tos right now?
Okay. Well, for the last several years, White Dove, Benjamin Moore White Dove is like the white that is just,
Yes.
Everyone loves White Dove. Our last home was painted White Dove on the inside and the outside. This home is painted white. The home we live in now is painted White Dove on the inside and the outside for the most part. Another very popular color, and it is not gray, but it is called Booth Bay Gray, and it's a blue. And I actually also have that in my home. And anytime we feature that space in my home, people ask, what is that blue color? So Booth Bay Gray.
Is it trim walls or?
It is trim and cabinets in our bar.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes. And it's paired with a Tebow wallpaper. And people always ask, what is that trim color? It's beautiful. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Those are great takeaways. All right, let's shift to social media.
Okay.
You've cultivated a following of over 220,000 on social media. What role has that played in the growth of your business? And wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's huge.
Thank you. Well, Sydney is a huge part of that, of course. She's our social media gal.
Yes.
It plays a huge role. Social media is great because it allows us to show potential clients or even just viewers who we are. And it allows them to kind of get to know us personally and professionally. And when someone knows you and your team and your story and what you're all about, they are more willing to ask you for help. So, it's been great for us.
Wow. For someone who's hesitant to show up online.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people.
Yes, there are.
What's your advice for building authenticity and connection through social media?
Okay. So, aside from a well-dressed home, I also have Hewett Consulting, which is a business coaching company. And this question comes up with people that I coach every single time. Really? I really want to grow our social media, but I'm really not comfortable getting in front of the camera. And I always say, you have to get in front of the camera. You have to. And be authentic and tell your story. And people love to hear your story and oftentimes they can relate. But you really do have to get in front of the camera and you have to be consistent. So even when you're not in front of the camera, when you're just posting on your feed or posting in stories about your projects or whatever it is that you're selling, you have to be consistent with it.
How often do you post?
We post on our feed, Monday through Friday. So 5 days a week. And then in stories, we post every single day.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
Do you find that your social media following directly influences your client base or the kind of projects
I think
that
so.
you attract?
Yes, I do think that the two are related. We design based on our clients' inspiration photos. Okay. So what you see at the end of the project is put on social media, and then others who are attracted to that will hire us. But I mean, we can design just like a good chef, a good designer can design in any style. But when people see our feed on social media and, it's kind of consistent, they are drawn to people that like that are very drawn to it. And then that creates a great client base.
So you have a pretty diverse style depending upon what the client brings for you.
Yes. When the client brings us, a rustic kind of cabin in the woods style, that's how we design. When they want something classic and, clean and sophisticated, that's how we design. So it's really, it's their home. So we want to give them what they want, not necessarily what we would want.
Right. Oh, that's great. Okay. Well, we started out about you've already gotten your Christmas holiday decor out and starting on that. It's such a special time for entertaining.
Yes.
The holidays are. So what are some of your go-to tips for creating that warm and welcoming space for guests?
So I am not a put something holiday in every single room type of person. Okay. But we do have a few trees, but I just like to load up our main tree in our living room with decor that fits the decor of that space and our home. But then I like to personalize it by putting little frames with photos of the kids or, a photo of them for every year leading up to the year that we're in, and just personalize it and kind of create so that when people come in your home, it's, oh, what is this picture of? Or I love this ornament. Where did this come from? A fun way to dress things up a little that people don't usually do is when you're hosting a holiday party, is I like to just take a plain standard garland and right before the party, put fresh flowers in the garland. And people always stop and go, oh my gosh, are these flowers real? And, it's just kind of a little unexpected touch.
Right.
That's makes it feel like, you've really thought about your decor.
Right. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Do you let your kids participate in the tree decorating?
Yes. Now, I might go back and revise it a little bit, but yes, I do allow them to help. This year, I didn't have them help me because I needed to get it done quickly. But,
right.
But yes, I do allow them to help. And they each have a tree in their own room.
Oh.
So they and their ornaments coordinate with that room. So they really get into putting their own ornaments up on that
tree. They
can
do their own.
Correct.
I like that.
Yes.
That's a great tip.
Yes.
Okay. So for those who might be listing their home during the holidays, what's your advice for tasteful seasonal decor that won't distract from the home, which is pretty much what you were talking about?
Exactly. Maybe not having something on every surface, on every mantle. Let's not have 10 trees in the house. Let's maybe have 1 or 2. Just kind of toning it down just a bit. And like I said, not having something on every surface because that can feel very cluttered.
Right. Yes. And buyers like to see the house.
Yes. They want to see the house and they want to be able to envision what they could do to the house. And if you've got your stuff everywhere, then it's going to be difficult for them to envision.
A little difficult, right? Yes. How can homeowners make their spaces feel festive without completely redecorating or breaking the bank?
Well, again, I think putting the flowers in the garland. Yes. I mean, when we have this home tour in December, I will literally go to Trader Joe's the night before or that morning, and I will snip little flowers that the color, blends with the rest of our decor, and I'll pop them in. That is such an easy way. And like I said, it really does make a statement. And I also think it's okay to keep your tree, like your main, maybe your living room tree, simple. You don't have to load it. I think ribbon is a great way to be, you could get ribbon on Amazon and, tie little bows everywhere. I did that on my tree this year, which is something a little bit different than I've done before. But again, a little $10 spool of ribbon and just make some little bows and put them everywhere. But you don't have to load up the entire tree and just collect over the years so that you're not buying everything all at once.
Do you have a collection?
I do. Yes. Yeah. I do have a collection. Yes. Yeah. And funny enough, when I put up our tree earlier this week, I have about 70 to 80 ornaments that I didn't have room for. So I think I'm done collecting.
Really?
Yes.
I love it. Do you have a collection just in regular design outside of holiday? That you really like? No,
I don't.
It's if you come across something that
I love. Yes.
Then you do. So when you are, looking and sourcing.
Yes.
Are you one that if you do come across something you love, you just get it and you don't envision a space where you can put it? It's just you bring it home.
Yes. If it's not something, massive, but I will say a few years ago when we were building our home, I went into Scout Design Studio or in the design district, and I walked in the door and they had these 2 marble and brass 5-foot tall flamingos. And the flamingo is the bird of the Bahamas, and I love the Bahamas. We go multiple times a year. Okay. So I said, okay, I feel like I need these, but I don't know that I have a place for them. Mm-hmm. Well, a month later, I couldn't stop thinking about them. I went back into Scout for something else, and there they were right in the front door. And I was like, okay, I'm going to wrap these up for me. I think it's time for me to take these home. And even though I didn't have a place for them, I knew that I loved them enough that I found a place for them. And they're right by my front door.
I was going to ask, where did you place them?
They're right next to the stairs and between the stairs and the front door.
So they're the greeters.
Yes, they are.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
And people always comment on them when they walk in. They're kind of a statement.
It's a conversation.
It is.
Yeah. Conversation piece.
Yes.
I love that. I need a picture of that. Yes. I want to see that. Okay. We're going to play a quick game.
Yes.
And it's love it or skip it.
Okay.
So it's going to be a rapid fire.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you the paddle.
Okay.
So for those listening, you'll be able to just state which one it is. And we're going to get through a few design trends.
Okay.
And let you respond.
Okay.
So
now before we do this, I do want to say you shouldn't be held hostage by a trend. Okay. Just because something is in style doesn't mean you have to have it in your home. I always say, do what you love, put in your home what you love, and it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah. And that's been kind of the theme here is that, do what you love.
And I may have some commentary around some of these things.
I love it.
So,
okay. Perfect. Okay. All right. First up, shiplap walls.
Love it, but not everywhere. Sparingly these days.
Where would you see shiplap walls?
It depends on the style of the home, but maybe in a cute cottagey little bedroom or something like that. But again, sparingly, maybe not everywhere in the home.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Little bits.
Yes.
Little bits. All white interiors.
I love all white interiors. Again, I know some people think it's too white for me or it feels like a hospital, but truly, if that is what makes you happy and you need that peace and calm, I say go for it.
Well, and then, like you were saying earlier, you can dress it up in your throw pillows.
That's right. Yes, you can add trends to it over the years and remove those trends as you tire of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Statement wallpaper. Wallpaper's in.
Always. Put it on the walls, put it on the ceilings, put it everywhere.
And what kind of wallpaper is do you have some favorites?
I have a favorite. It is called Katsura by Tebow.
Okay.
And I have it in the lavender, and it's throughout my whole living room, kitchen, and bar area. And it's like kind of an ivory background with vines and little green and lavender birds and flowers.
Ooh, wow.
And people love it. It's
Yes. How soothing.
Yes.
Okay. Mixed metals.
Always. All day, every day. Yes.
You do?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Tell me more.
The light fixtures can be, silver, and the hardware and the plumbing can be unlacquered brass. Mix it all.
Okay.
Yes.
Good mix. All right. Gallery walls.
Sparingly.
Okay.
Sparingly. Again, I think it depends on the style of the home. But they can be really fun, and they can obviously tell a family story.
They can. Okay. I know what you're going to say on this one due to our previous conversation. Layered rugs.
100%. Yes.
And you pretty much say layer everything,
layer
right?
everything.
Give us a few examples.
Okay. So, a lot of times if our clients will find a rug that they fall in love with, maybe for their living room, and it's not quite large enough. So we will have some sort of a sisal or something very different from the rug that they've fallen in love with to give you that contrast. We'll have something much larger made to put under it. And then they can put that like wow factor statement piece on top.
Okay. Yes. All right. Black window frames.
Love it, again, depending on the style of the home. Yes, it really has to fit the style of the home.
Right. So those metal windows.
Yes, maybe a more modern type style.
Okay. Well, we already know the answer to this one. Holiday decor in every room.
I'm going to say
That'll be your first skip it.
Not in every room, sparingly throughout the house, but not on every single surface.
Right. I love that tip. Now I don't feel the pressure of having to put something in every single room.
Because then you have to put it all away. And who wants to do that?
Yes. That takes a long time.
Yes.
Which I guess is why you start early. So that you can enjoy it for a little bit longer than 30 days or so. All right. Built-in coffee bars.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I love a built-in coffee bar. Yes. And I find it efficient. And I think there's nothing wrong with it. We have a coffee bar. We have a coffee bar at our house. It is behind cabinets. So you don't have to see any sort of a mess or all of the, gadgets. But yes, I do love a built-in coffee bar.
Do you see a lot of built-in coffee bars in primary bedrooms?
Not as many anymore.
Okay.
I did about 10 years ago, but we don't have that request as much these days.
Okay.
I think people are finding that they just go ahead and make their way to the kitchen.
That's right.
For their coffee.
That's right. Yeah. You can walk a little bit,
20 feet.
Right? Yes. All right. Seasonal throw pillows.
I'm going to say skip it. And I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but me personally, I would skip it.
Yes. Yes. Now, do you change out, not necessarily seasonal as far as like holiday patterns or things like that, but if there are holiday colors, do you see people utilizing that?
I change out throw pillows.
How often?
Pretty often. I mean, I hate to say maybe every 6 months I see something I love, or I'll recover my sofa and I'll say, oh, we need new throw pillows now. So yes.
How often do you recover your furniture?
We just recovered our sofa in our living room.
Okay.
And we've been in the home for about 3.5 years.
Oh, wow.
I try not to make a habit of that, but I did find a fabric that I absolutely loved, and I really wanted to have that in our living room. So that's why I did it.
Do you have a favorite pattern or fabric that you...
Not necessarily. I just found one that really grabbed my attention. It was another Tebow fabric, and it worked really well with that Katsura wallpaper that we have in our living room. So I said, okay, it's meant to be. I have to do it.
I have to have it.
Yes.
I have to have it.
Yes.
Well, good. Yes. Good. Any last tips that you would like to share with our listeners?
Again, don't be held hostage to trends. If you love it, buy it and put it in your home, and don't worry too much about what others think about it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Emily, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate. I know you're super busy. You all have lots of projects going on.
We do.
So we greatly appreciate you taking the time to be with us today.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful. Well, if you like what you heard, please subscribe and rate the show, and we will see you next time.